All right, so okay, can you hear me and can we start?
Yes.
Okay, good. The first question, right? X gram of milk costs 60 cents. So far, especially in terms of find the number of grams that can be bought by Y dollars. So X gram is 60 cents. Then you have Y dollar. So your Y dollar means you need to use the Y times 100 because your Y dollar. So you need to convert it to cent, then divide by 60. You understand or not?
Sorry? What?
Hold on.
Times 100.
Because you need to convert the dollar into cent.
Oh.
So first thing, you need to convert the dollar into cent. So it's times 100. So this is cent, right? Okay. So X gram is 60 cent, right? So we use proportionality. So now you have 100 Y cent. Okay. So they ask how many gram, right? Right. So you use 100 Y cent divided by 60. Then that's the proportionality, you times the X. Okay. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. So you, of course, you need to simplify. You need to simplify this one. Divide by 10, then get rid of the 0. Okay.
Okay.
Then you need to divide by 2 again. This is 5. You divide by 2 is 3. So therefore, you simplify is 5xy over 3. Okay.
Okay.
And by the way, I don't know why you get why you take 60 cent over x. It's not 60 cent over x. So okay, let me give you a simple example. 2 gram is 60 cent. So how much is 1 gram?
60 divided by 2.
Okay, so 60 by 2, right? That's called 30 cent per gram, right? So if it's 30 cent per gram, right? So now you have Y dollar. So you basically just take this divide by that will be the gram you get, right? So
Yeah.
similarly, so okay, your this one is correct, but your this Y, you need to divide. Okay, first you get it into cent first. So you need to take Y 100 divide by 60 over X. Not times, divide. Okay. Okay, once again, what happened to your question 2? You take a look at your question 2 first. What's wrong with your question 2?
Oh.
Never mind, you can do it on the screen. You can do it on the screen. Yep, do it on the screen. Where you should put the bracket. Yep, you are supposed to put the bracket to the -2. Then only you can go ahead and do the question. Okay, that's your part A. What's wrong with part B?
Part B.
Yeah, part B. What's wrong with part B?
Oh. Part B, I mixed the number up. So should be 7 times 8 plus -2.
No, wait. You sub in the value. You don't go and do any other stuff. That's always your problem. I ask you to sub in the value and you go and do other stuff. And you never show me the step. I ask you not to skip step and then you go and skip all the steps. Show me how you do B. Here, white space. Without skipping any single step. Wait, why you go and insert a bracket? Explain why you insert a bracket here. And explain why you insert a bracket for the here also. Why you insert a
I insert bracket for number 1 because it's times.
times? You put a bracket. Who teach you?
Yeah.
Who teach you? Times you put a bracket. Who teach you?
I put times so that I put bracket so it will not mix up with the other numbers.
Okay, when you need to put a bracket, that's the most important question you ask yourself. You don't come up with bracket
When there's
anyhow.
a negative number.
Then does it make sense to put a bracket for 1 in this case?
No.
Then if there is no need, then that's why you don't follow your own rules. Your rules are wrong. Your rules are wrong. Okay? Just put 8 times 7. That's all. Bracket is not needed. You don't put brackets unnecessarily. Number 1. Number 2, you don't go and do calculation while you're supposed to do substitution. So for questions like this, for this one, you just do substitution, sub in. Don't do any other stuff. That's your first step. That's your first step, sub in. Don't do any other stuff. When you need the bracket.
When there's a negative number.
Exactly. So there is no need for step 1. So now step 2, yes. Continue. Then you go and use your calculator. And by the way, you are not supposed to use the calculator because they say evaluate. So you need to show all steps. So what's the next step? You're running out of space if you keep using these strokes of this thickness. Okay, good enough. Yeah, this one should be quite simple already. Okay, stop making mistake for this question too. Or this type of question, stop. Negative bracket. The rest, don't give me nonsense. Okay. By the way, this question I think is 3 marks. 3 marks is almost 1 grade already. And until today, you are still making that same mistake again and again. Negative bracket, that's all. Sub in, then do the rest. This question is called sub in, okay? Sub in. You need to show sub in. After you sub in, if there is a negative number bracket, that's all. That's the first step. You don't do any other than sub in negative bracket. The first step is always sub in negative bracket. Don't do calculation. If you do calculation, your first step you do calculation wrong. Because they want to see evaluate means step by step. Okay. By the way, this is the simplest question ever. You still get it wrong until today. Okay. Since the holiday, you still get it wrong until today. I can't emphasize this enough. When you put the bracket, you don't give me bracket anyhow, okay? I don't need bracket anyhow, and you shouldn't give bracket anyhow. You give bracket anyhow, wrong. Okay. Next. Okay, the difference between the highest and the lowest. This is the lowest. The highest and the lowest. How do you get the highest and the lowest? Why you plus? How do you do this question?
Because they say the difference between the highest and the lowest
Mhm.
temperatures is 45.9 degrees.
Yeah. And then
So if the difference is 45.9
Mm.
plus the -7 degrees is
Mm.
equivalent to the highest temperature.
okay. Then if the lowest temperature recorded is 6 degrees less than that, so the lowest recorded is 6 degrees less. So even less. Okay, so good. Because -13 is less than -7.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, explain. I already explained. So number of significant, this one, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Yeah, fifth. So this one, the first is the 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. Okay. Factorization. Factorization in your 2 and your z is very confusing. What 2 times? Oh, 2xz. Okay, good. Wait, 3 minus 2. I mean 3 minus 1. Can you simplify or you cannot? 等一下，你是不是错了？
And 2.
你是不是错了？
But this one,
Wait, how come I find that you confuse me also? You confuse yourself also. You know why you confuse yourself? Because your
Why?
2 and the z look the same. That's why you confuse yourself. So next time, when you take out the common one, which you have highlighted, 2, x, and z, correct. 2, x, and z. So what you are left with?
y. 3y.
3y minus 1. That's the problem. You just have to pick the right thing. Okay, you see, you know what's the problem with you when it comes to factorization? You dig a hole and you jump into it yourself. Let me show you how I will do factorization. By the way, I'm almost an expert in your secondary school mathematics, and I still have to do it the normal way, step by step. Okay, and you are this kind of level. Okay, and you want to skip step. Let me emphasize to you one more time how you should do factorization. Even when you are right, I don't like the way you do, you will still be wrong next time, because anything can happen, you know, crazy stuff like this. Okay, so follow my steps. I'm almost an expert already. I also do every single step, so you better follow my step. First thing, differentiate your z with 2 clearly. Okay, this is the way I differentiate my z from 2. I give a small stroke here. I don't want to confuse myself. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, you are right to write down this, what, 2, 3, x, y, and z. And then, 为什么是 minus? Where do you get the minus from? You start with a plus, you get the minus. Where do you get the minus from? Crazy. Are you crazy already? Where do you get the minus
No.
from? No, where do you get the minus from? You start with a plus. Okay. Have you gone mad? You start with a plus, right? And then you go and change to minus. I don't know where you get your minus from. Next, then you do the 1, you do the 2, you do the x, you do the z. So you highlight, okay, you highlight the common term, 2xz, 2xz. Okay, so now what you do, you just take out 2xz. And then once you take out the 2xz, what I suggest you do is you can go and erase it already. So I won't see the 2xz already. So I can clearly see what? 3y left and plus 1. Simple. Simple. So there is no way I can make mistake. Okay? There is no way I will skip my y because clearly I still have the y. And I don't know why you get the minus. I really don't know how you get the minus. Maybe you were daydreaming when you were doing this question. Okay, and by the way, it's 1 mark. So simple. Okay, the next one is, you see, why, okay, even though you might be correct for this answer, but I still want to mark you wrong because this one is so messy. Why I say so? Everything is not on the same level. One is up, the other one is down. Nonsense. What same level? This is same level. Okay, not this. You look at the way you do this question is totally nonsense. This one is same level. Then suddenly this one is up. This one is so small, and then this is up again. This one is come back. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This one is here, then this one is down. This one is down even more. Then this one up again. Don't have enough space. Don't use pen. Use pencil. Manage your space. So how I will do this question if I need to, if I can do it again. So you want to take out what? Minus 1. Okay. Minus 1, then 3, then 3, then H, then H, minus. This one you don't want to take out what? What you want to take out?
3 and 5.
I see minus 1. Okay. Let me just take out minus 1.
Minus 1, 3, and 5.
So you want to take out minus 1, 3, and 5 and H. Same level. So now take out common factor. Minus 1, 3, and H. So minus 1, 3, and H. Okay, take out minus 1, 3, and H. Okay, so
Negative 3H.
Never mind. I want to get rid of all this so I don't see them. So I have 3H plus 5. You see, you miss again. You know why you miss it? Because you messed up. You messed up. You dig holes and you jump into it. And you lose 4 marks unnecessarily. 2 marks here, 2 marks above. And you make the same mistake again and again for this simple basic questions. I'm very pissed off, and you should be very pissed off with yourself. You make the same mistake again and again and again and again. You can go back to your recorded video previously. You make this kind of mistake again and again and again since the beginning of the holiday till now, which is almost 1 month, more than 1 month. You piss me off if you make the same mistake again and again and again and again. And you should be pissed off yourself. Why you make the mistake? Because you do nonsense like this. I asked you to give me the same level. I asked you to give me the same level. And once you take out the common factor, I want you to, if you, by the way, you can use pencil, you can use highlighter, or you can go and like use, like you can black one, you can like black it up. I don't see them already. So when I don't see them, I only leave with, I'm left with 3H. I'm left with 5. There is no way I can make mistake if I do it this way. Same level throughout. Not like, oh, sometimes my arrow is this big, sometimes my arrow is this small, sometimes my arrow is longer, sometimes my arrow is so long, sometimes my arrow is like, why don't you tell me? You're doing what? You're doing what here? Waterfall, is it? Huh? What is this nonsense? How come one arrow is bigger than the other arrow? This is what I call you dig holes and you jump into it. Or maybe I shouldn't use the word hole. You dig your grave and you jump into the grave and you bury yourself. You lose 2 marks. You lose 4 marks already. Just out the question. You lose 1 grade. And you know you cannot lose 4 marks. Every mark counts for you. We're not talking about concept now. We're talking about you because you're this messy handwriting. Previous one. When do you put the bracket? Negative number. You see your pattern start to come back already. Good for a few days, good for 1 week or 2. Nonsense comes back again. Very stubborn, are you? Okay. I am not going to entertain this kind of working. I'm not going to entertain this kind of working. If you cannot space out it well, you better space out all these properly. Once you take out the common factor, you better, I don't care what you use. You can use pencil or you can use pen or whatever. You take out the common factor, you better help me black it out or whatever. I don't care. Even you write so many things here, you see, it confused me. I look at it, I'm the marker, I confuse. I mean, if I'm the marker, I look at your this messy handwriting, I will mark you wrong, even your answer is correct. Because it's such an eyesore, it's an eyesore, okay? What you're trying to show me? One is up, one is down, one is up, one is down, then down further, then up, down, up, down. What is this nonsense? My way of doing it is same level. The arrow, it should be about the same height. You don't call me one is down, one is up, one is down, one is up. This shows that you don't know how to arrange the space or manage the space. You stop with this nonsense. Okay? Next time, I don't care about your answer. If you give me this one, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, I mark you wrong already. Straight away wrong. I don't want to see the answer. Okay, simple. Next, subtract 3y from the product. Okay, then divide by the sum. Open the bracket. Very good. Why you need a bracket here? Explain. Why do you need a bracket? Why do you need a bracket here? Is there a minus?
No.
Then why you put a bracket here? So these days, yeah, you seem to put bracket anyhow already. You seem to put bracket anyhow already. Anyhow means like don't need bracket, you also put bracket. That's called anyhow. When there is no need for the bracket, you put the bracket, is wrong. Okay, so you don't put bracket anyhow, no need. Okay, so for this one, prime factorization, then what? Write down the greatest integer that will divide both. So basically this one is the divisible. So what? Divisible by 300 and this. So you just compare. So basically this is 5800, then you compare with this. So what is the greatest integer? So it's HCF. So HCF, how do you find HCF? or LCM?
Lowest shared factor.
Yeah. So shared is 2, 2, 3, 5. So the lowest power is 1, lowest power is 1, lowest power is 1. So it should be this one. Oh, then what about the LCM? LCM is 2 to the power.
Highest common.
Yeah,
Highest
2 to the power 3. Very good.
total factor.
Yep. So it's 3 to the power of 2, 5 to the power of 2. Then got the 7 to the power of 2 also. Because for LCM is all, and then highest power, all factor. So you see, wrong. Why you are wrong? Because you never memorized the definition. You see, one more time, that means once again, you get things wrong because you never adhere to the definition. It happens here. It happens here. And of course, it happens for the factorization question. No matter how simple the question is, you just cannot get it because you never adhere to the rules. So we are not talking about whether the question is difficult or simple. Okay. It can be very simple. It can be a giveaway. But if you never adhere to the rule, you will not get it. That's always your problem. It's never about hard question or simple question. It's about whether you adhere to the rules or not. You follow the rules or not. Okay. So you better go back and memorize all the rules again. HCF, LCM. Okay. Term 3 is coming up 5th of August. Is it 5th of August for you?
No.
Then for you is when?
I
The other student of mine is 5th of August. If it's not you. I remember 5th of August. Maybe it's for my other student. When is yours?
15.
When are you getting the revision material then?
I don't know. I asked already.
Okay. Okay, never mind. But regardless of when you're getting your revision material, you should go back and really memorize our rules. I remember it's less than 10. I have not added anything to it yet. Okay. And this paper shows once again, you have forgotten already. Okay. Okay. Perfect square. So how to square root the perfect square? So k cube, which is this. So you can square you can square root the 2, man. Can you?
Yeah, because
Square root 2 can.
yeah, because it was like this before, and then you squared, and then we squared, and then it was.
Stop your nonsense. The first thing you ask yourself is, can you square root the 2?
Oh, that 2. Oh no.
Cannot. So give it a 2. Can you square root the 3 to the 5?
No.
Then you give it a 3. Can you square root the 7 to the power of 2?
Yes.
I don't care about the answer. I don't care about the answer. And now I'm talking about the approach. When I'm talking about the approach, you don't keep telling me the answer, okay? You just piss me off. I want to emphasize once again, I don't care about the answer. I care about the approach. I'm talking about the approach. You don't jump to the answer. Okay. So this one no need. So the answer is 2 times 6, 2 times 3. Because you need to give it a 2, you need to give a 3, in between is a time. So the answer is 6. So once again, you never follow the rules. We have been practicing this question so many times. So it's not about how many times you practice, it's not about that. Okay. Square root of P. This will give you wrong. This is not the way to do it. Never follow my approach. What is the
Why?
approach to do square root of this one? What's the approach? What's the approach?
Square root.
By writing this down is the first step, which is correct. What's the next step? Square root 2 to the power of 4, what do you get?
4, which is 2 squared.
Square root of 3 to the power of 2. This one.
3,
Square root 7 to the power of 2.
7,
Square root this 11 to the power of 6. 11 to the power.
11 third.
So this is the answer. You are not supposed to show this at all. You are not supposed to show this one at all. It's the same approach. They ask you for the K. All you need to do is ask yourself, can you square root the 2 to the power of 3? Cannot. Give it
No.
a 2. Can you square root this? Can.
Yes.
No need. So K equals to 2. Same thing if they ask you for this kind of question. Square root this, you get 2 to the power of 2. Square root this, you get 3. Square root this, you get 4. So this is the answer. This is the approach. I don't care about the answer. So today, this paper, you show me all kinds of nonsense again. What happened to you? Why you go back to your true colors? You have no progress. No progress. You show me all kinds of nonsense again. It's the same nonsense you showed me the other time. Since the beginning of the holiday. Or maybe since the beginning of term 1. Why? Questions can be very simple, but you just can't do it. You just can't get it right because you show nonsense again. Your monster is back. That monster of you is back. And it shows everywhere here. Everywhere. Almost every question from 1 to 9, you show that true color again. Okay. This one, 11. Did you put all this number into this? Number 3?
No.
Then
Because
how do you-
prime numbers you cannot put in.
Okay, prime number, I excuse you. Then the rest?
The rest all go under rational.
Why? Which one is irrational here?
There is none.
Very good. But good to see that you have this. Okay. Can I ask 0.3 with a dot? Where do you put this 0.3 with a dot?
Decimals.
Okay. Okay. Good. We talk about it and you get it right. Okay. Graph. But from 1 to 9, you have shown your true colors or your old self or that monster again. Okay. So for this question, how do you get the M? The M is you get the what?
The gradient.
What's the formula for M? Wrong. Never put formula. What's the formula for gradient?
Divided
Can
by
you write down? Can you write down the formula? You don't skip the step. You skip the step, you will, every single time you make mistake because you skip the step. When you skip step, you will make mistake. That's always your problem. You try to skip that 1 or 2 steps and then you get it wrong. What's the point of skipping step then? Oh, wait. Which one is your Y1? Which one is your Y1? You circle the Y1 and Y. You circle the 2 value. You circle the 2 value from the table before you sub in the value. Okay, sub in now. You look at the mistake you have made now. You look at the mistake you have made now.
Oh.
You don't or. There is no point if you skip that 1 or 2 steps and then you make mistakes. No point of skipping. Okay, next time I don't care. If you don't give me the formula, I ask you to copy the formula until next time you stop this nonsense. By the way, you are not very good in mathematics. You cannot afford to skip steps. Let me emphasize to you one more time. You are not good at mathematics, so you cannot skip steps. Do you know yourself or not? Do you know yourself or not?
Yeah.
You don't. You don't know yourself. You are not good at mathematics. Let me point it out up front to you. You are not good at mathematics. When you are not good at mathematics and you still go and skip step, disaster happens. You think you are very good, that's why you skip all steps. You think doesn't mean correct. This is what happened. I ask you to write down the formula first. This is the formula. Then next, what you do, you go and circle the x1, y1, x2, y2. Then you go and sub in the value. When you sub in the value, when you got negative, what you do? Can you see you sub in the -3 here?
Yeah.
Then you should put a bracket. Did you put a bracket? 没有. That's why I say you skip every single step. I'm not sure whether you purposely skip every single step or you forget. I don't know which one. You cannot afford to skip you cannot afford to skip even one single step because you are not good at mathematics. You are not good. You skip step, disaster will happen. Let me be frank with you. Remember, you are not good at mathematics. And by the way, where you are supposed to put the 1 and the 2. Y square, why you show me y square? You see, once again, you make the mistake again. So for me, this paper is a disaster. You never follow every single step. This paper is a disaster from 1 to question 12. From 1 to question 12 is a disaster. This is good because you follow the formula.
What about question 13?
15 is also a disaster. Why is it a disaster?
What about question 13?
I don't care about 13 first. I care about 15. B. You copy question also copy wrongly.